This is Talk of the Town, a weekly program featuring community events happening in and around Northeast Michigan, with your host, Nancy Smitham, and get the latest from Alpena Community College with Dr. Don McMaster. And now, today's Talk of the Town.
Good morning and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Nancy Smitham. My first guest today is Thomas Kane, and he is the Director of Nursing for My Michigan Medical Health Center. Good morning.
Well, good morning, Nancy. Thanks for having me on this morning.
Thanks for being here, and I think it's My Michigan Health Center.
Yeah,
My
Michigan Alpena.
I don't think there's any medical in there, and I'm on the annual support committee, hence my beautiful fleece that I'm wearing today, so I should know that. But welcome, and welcome back to Alpena, first of all.
Thank you. It's I had a little hiatus. I was on the west side of the state, helping Munson with some of their things. I had an opportunity to come back home, and there's nothing like living at home when you're from Northeast Michigan. So my wife and I, our family, are delighted to be back here in Northeast Michigan in Alpena.
Well, welcome back, and you're Director of Nursing at the hospital.
Yep, I'm the Vice President of Nursing at the hospital, and I have some other ancillary areas, but my primary focus is nursing strategy, and the practice of nursing there.
Okay, well, anyone who's been to the hospital recently knows that you have great nurses and they take excellent care of their patients.
Yep, we do have a great set of nurses, and everybody at the hospital and in healthcare has had an arduous journey out for the last couple of years, and I'm sincerely thankful for all they do for our patients and for us.
And you're right. And so what are the restrictions now at the hospital?
We still have a masking restriction.
Okay.
As rules go, everything seems to change on a frequent basis, but we do still have a masking restriction to try and keep everybody safe. We still are seeing a little bit of COVID, but it's significantly down from what it was just a couple of months ago. Hopefully we're over the hump, but you just never know with this sort of a virus.
And thank you for the masking policy. I think it's a wonderful policy. I appreciate that. I still wear my mask all the time when I'm around groups of people. Yeah. And I did have the opportunity recently to do a tour of the new patient tower. Oh my goodness, what a beautiful jewel in our community.
Yeah, that is so exciting to have that. Here we'll have 60 brand new med-surg beds. They're all private, so folks that may have used our services previously may have been in a semi-private room. They're all private. We'll have a brand new ICU. Those are all private rooms as well. Brand new labor and delivery area, OB area, and we also have brand new surgical services area. We'll have 5 ORs instead of 4 ORs, and each of the areas pre and post-op are also private for the patient. So it's just a fantastic addition to the community, and we're very excited. It'll open on April 26th, and I know they have some tours set up for different groups of people in the community. Those will be announced through the hospital and the local media, and we look forward to moving into that building very shortly.
And you know, Tom, when you mentioned operating rooms, going on that tour, it's like it was something like being in a spaceship, listening to the general contractor tell us about all the gases and the electrical and the electronics and the services that were in those rooms. I mean, total state-of-the-art operating rooms.
Yeah, you're correct, Nancy. We have the most updated equipment there, so the people that get services here at My Michigan and Alpena will have state-of-the-art services available to them.
And one thing we want to let our community know, of course this would not have been possible without the wonderful, generous support of our community, but we want to let them know we're still not at our goal, we still need funding, and we want to let them know that that funding stays in Alpena, and if you designate it for the patient tower, it goes to the patient tower.
That is correct. Any funds that are designated towards a tower, and you know, it's a big project, so we're still accepting funding, but it does stay local for our tower. It does not go to Midland or other My Michigan areas.
Okay, and do you anticipate any new doctors or any new services coming to our area?
our recruiting, I believe we have a couple of pediatricians for the summer.
Okay.
Hopefully that works out. And, you know, new services, I think our focus right now is getting moved into the tower, and then we're going to explore what we're going to do with some of the space that we're vacating in the hospital, so things that could help us provide continuum of care for our patients. So.
And you know, we're so blessed to have the quality care that we do have in our community, and I know that we're a destination hospital for a lot of the smaller communities, and with our cancer center too, that's a wonderful jewel in our community.
Yep, and people may not realize how high a quality of care, so the National Rural Hospital Association named us one of the top 20 rural hospitals in the nation.
It's amazing.
And the Hardest Group, which is another accreditation organization, named us one of the top 100 hospitals, rural hospitals in the United States. So right here in Northeast Michigan, you've got a top 20 hospital in all of the United States.
Wonderful, and I want to go back to those donations again. I just want to let people know that I'm on the Enter Support Committee at my Michigan hospital. I'm very proud to be a part of it, and I hope that people will know that I do not lend my time or my money to anything that I don't believe in. So I'm hoping that people will help make donations and get us to that goal. If they have any questions, they can call and ask for Ann Diamond, and everyone in the community knows Ann, and she can make those donations happen. If you'd like to have someone come to one of your groups or organizations and talk to you, she can make that happen too.
Yep, Ann is fantastic at that, and she would be the best contact person. And if it's not exactly in Ann's basket, she certainly can direct you where it needs to be.
She certainly can. And I want to thank you so much for being here. Once again, welcome back to Alpena.
Thank you.
And I'm looking forward to things maybe getting back to a new normal, and that people can come in and out of the hospital and, you know, access the services a little easier. And I'll be so excited when that outpatient entrance is ready and when the other entrance is ready. I know it's a little baffling for people to try to find their way around there right now. Even though you have wonderful people at the door, it causes a little bit of hesitancy. So I'll be so happy when we get everything open and we're on with the new.
We certainly appreciate the people that use our services. Our patients being patient with us during building is never easy, whether you're doing it at home or whether you're doing it on a hospital-wide basis. So we appreciate their patience, but soon to be complete.
We're out of time. Thank you so much, Tom.
Okay, thank you.
Take care. I'll be right back following these messages. Hi, welcome back. My last guest today is Chris Witulski from Besser Museum. Hi, Chris.
Hi, Nancy.
So I know it's an extremely busy time for you, even though as we're taping this, the weather is not very nice. Yeah. I know that spring is coming, summer's coming, and I know you've got a lot of planning to do.
We are. It's always fun to come and talk to you about what's going on in the museum. And I know as you wind down your career, I just want to say thank you for hosting me on the couch so many times. You've seen so many changes, more than I even, over your career of covering the Besser Museum. And we just really appreciate the opportunity to promote all of the things that we have been doing and the things that are coming up in the near future. So we are preparing for field trips right now. We're going to start our field trips in April, so when we get back from Easter break, starting April 18th through June, teachers can call and book a field trip. Now that we're through some of that COVID restrictions, we've already booked a few early spring, but we're waiting till after the holidays to start, so call in with that. Another thing coming up April 9th is our Science Saturdays. Jonathan reached out and partnered with Tina at the Alpena County George and Fletcher Library and Starbase, Steve out at Starbase. So those three get together and do a program at the Besser Museum, and the program is free with admission. So it's adults $5, children are $3, and then there will be activity booths all geared to different science experiments and concepts. So Jonathan and Tina and Steve will be doing that.
What about ages for that?
And it's pretty much open to all ages. It really is. It's probably more middle school, but a lot of the kindergarten on up, Jonathan tries to have a little bit of something for everyone. And then of course the planetarium is going on at that time too, shows. And that's going to be 2 to 4, April 19th. April 16th, we're going to have a free public open house reception for our non-juried artist. So we opened the art in February, I believe it was, and we did People's Choice. So April 16th at 2 o'clock, it's 2 to 3, we will announce the 2 artists that received the most votes. So if you haven't gotten in and seen the gallery yet, and if you haven't voted for your favorite artist, get in before April 14th, because we are closed Good Friday, April 15th, and then we'll be open the 16th, and then of course closed on Easter.
Okay.
And that will be the end of this gallery. We've had lots of people come in, they've got lots of votes, there's beautiful art. So we're excited to host a reception for them and announce the winners. And then we also have Eugene Cambry's astrophotography up through April 16th. And then when that comes down, Steve By, he was a local from Alpena artist. I actually brought 2 of his books that he has in our gift store. Vincent in Tucson, which is a book he wrote, but also illustrated. So he's an author, artist. And then Bad Moon Rising, Hemingway, Hollywood, Hoover, and Castro. And so these are in the books, and Steve is coming back to exhibit in the area. The Besser Museum is excited to be able to host his exhibit, and that will start May 7th.
Okay.
And so just lots of things and behind the scenes for that. As you kind of exit, you can keep course track of what we're doing, because we're really excited. The board has voted to move forward with renovating 3,000 square feet in the Besser Museum to create a new Discover Northeast Michigan History Gallery.
Wow.
So we've been working for years to reinterpret our Native American gallery. And I know I've probably mentioned to you before that we had consultants from different tribes in Northeast Michigan working with us. And we've also personally gone up and down the state visiting with other tribal historians and people to say, how can we best interpret, you know, in their perspective. And it's a project that takes a long time.
Oh, I'm sure.
And so as we were working on that to reinterpret that part of the gallery, we got that very generous endowed gift from the Granums, Robert and Jacqueline Granum. And it's so specific for how we can use it. It is only to be used to improve or create exhibits inside the main museum building that pertain to our local history.
Wow.
Yes. So we're working with architects, we'll be reaching out to exhibit designers, and we're pursuing, of course, grant funding, because to renovate a gallery and really bring it into 21st century, state-of-the-art, kid-friendly, that's what we're really going for. You know, we haven't had a kids museum or interactive exhibit where kids can engage with that. And so we're looking for that design to be a multi-level entry, so the youngest, the littlest of our learners, right up to the oldest, can just really be immersed in history and be inspired and just really come away with a wow factor. That's what we're going for. So that's what we're working on.
I'm
we're
sure
really
it will
excited.
happen. And now what about the Chinook and the Catherine V, as soon as weather's permitting?
Oh my goodness, Nancy. So we got the DNR grant, invasive species grant that we applied for. We were awarded $386,000
oh my goodness.
from that to complete the Catherine V and the Chinook. So it's called the Great Lakes Fisheries Heritage Exhibit. And so this grant will allow us to put a protective building over the Chinook, and then also all of the exhibit components. And with that, we will be, that exhibit is really geared to make our visitors and citizens like you and I that might not be Great Lakes science biologists and really understand the impact of invasive species and what it's doing to our fisheries and the damage that it causes, that it would educate us on that and how we as individual citizens can play a role and make a difference in combating invasive species.
How exciting.
And so we are so lucky to have like Jim Johnson, a retired fish biologist, Tuffy Cross, which was the captain of the Chinook, but also partnering with the DNR and with Hammond Bay Fish Biology. We're at the Great Lakes Fisheries Commission, and I'm trying to think of all the other partners, Fish and Wildlife, that are bringing their expertise and their knowledge to this exhibit so that we can really help them get their message out on what we can do to keep our Great Lakes healthy.
That's amazing.
It really is.
And then all the other buildings out back, everything, and
Great, the
Fossil
log
Park.
cabin, yes, the fossil park.
Yes.
But the log cabin, thanks to the support from local grants, was completed last fall. So we went through the winter, and now it's spring. It's all the logs are replaced, the chinking's new,
Oh,
the
wow.
windows were fixed, the doors, and so that cabin we can safely say will stand for another 50 years
Yay.
or more. So it's just really been, for me, a blessing to see the community support the Besser Museum. You know, our renovation of the Wilson Gallery, the art
Yes.
gallery, has received so many positive responses. You yourself was in there, and what we were able to do with renovating that gallery. And again, elevating the museum to a 21st century. We're so blessed that Jesse Besser
Yes.
gifted Alpena community with a museum. And at the time it was, you know, cutting edge and
was.
state of the art. But
You're going to have it right back there again.
we're working on it, so.
What a time. I want to thank you very much, and
you.
look forward to seeing you in the future. Take care.
Thank you so much, Nancy.
Thank you. Please stay tuned for Dr. Don McMaster following these messages.